Let me take a deep breath. All right. Hey, best friends. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And let me just say this today, we're talking about the art of storytelling. And I want to be able to share about the art of storytelling because I know that it's a lot of amazing blazing writers out there and a lot of amazing blazing authors out there. But when it comes to translating what you do to an online platform, the platforms being what we're using right now: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. When it comes to, and also YouTube, don't forget about YouTube. But when it comes to storytelling, for whatever reason, we can sell tons and tons of books, but when it comes to actually relating what we're trying to say to an online platform, that is where we fall for that. And that's what I want to help you with today. For those of you that's new here, my name is Lynette Kincaid, the author and also writing coach. And let me be the one to already tell you, I already know that I have on two different earrings because I needed to get this done at a certain time and I didn't have time to look for the earrings. I found one pair, found another pair, and I kept it pushing. It is what it is today, okay? So, can we talk about storytelling for a minute? Please and thank you. So, what I am seeing with a lot of my potential clients, what I'm seeing with them is the fact that they're excited about selling the book, right? Selling your book. And what's happening with that is a lot of people are just talking about the book. And so, because they're constantly just talking about the book and just talking about the book, but here's the other part. If, I had a person the other day to share, hey, I want to get the word out more so about my book, right? And so I went back to their post and it said nothing about the book, nothing at all about the book. So here's the I guess I won't say catch 22, but here's what's happening with everyone that's wanting to sell their book. You have this person on one side and they're only talking about the book and they're only showing pictures of the book and they're only showing pictures of the book. And then you have the other person that they want to sell books, but they don't really want to talk about their book. Y'all, can y'all fall in love with your books? That's first off, right? But the other part of that is tell a story about your book. And that's why I'm here today, because if I tell you this information today, guess what? You have time to fix it before Monday morning. You have time to go back and correct it before Monday morning, right? So, the first thing that I want to share with you guys is um, talking about your book. You have someone that you're talking about your book, and that's all you're wanting to talk about. You don't want to talk about anything else. And it's not that you don't want to talk about anything else. Can I tell you something? What's happening is a lot of you are getting desperate. And when you get desperate, you get around these people that call themselves either gurus or they're calling themselves experts. And what happens with that is a lot of you are allowing them to tell you, just keep posting about your book and just keep posting about what you're selling and you're going to sell it. Y'all, let me tell you something. What's going to happen is a lot of you, and thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. For those of you that's just joining in, my name is Lynette Kincaid, the author and also writing coach. Okay, so thank you so much for joining on a Saturday morning. But what I'm trying to explain is a lot of you get desperate. You get with who's considering themselves to be the expert, and they're just telling you to, hey, they charge you for these classes and you go to the classes and you come out with nothing. You want to know why? Because they're telling you things that don't work. And the main reason it doesn't work is because they haven't tried it themselves. They're telling you something that they feel is going to work, and it's not working, baby. Let me be the one to tell you, it's not working. When you're posting repetitive and repetitive and repetitive, people see you, honey. They see you. Here's the thing. I see so many people that celebrate, oh my God, I got over 10,000 followers. I have, a million followers. I have this and I have that, right? But the one thing is, start trying to sell to those people. When you start trying to sell to those people, that's when those people is like, oh, deuces, this ain't what I signed up for, right? And the whole time, especially on places like LinkedIn, I see this all the time where people are literally like they're spreading inspiration. Hey, you can make it on your job today, or these cute little quotes that keeps us going during the day. But then when you try to turn that quote into, hey, now I'm selling a book, deuces, congratulations. And people will congratulate you, especially on LinkedIn. Congratulations, that's amazing. Keep up the good work. But does those congratulations convert to sales? And they don't. This is the reason why I want you to start now on the right track. Selling, letting people know that you're not only selling a book, but you're selling your expertise. I can't even take myself serious. I can't even take myself serious in these two different earrings. But at any rate, I got to keep going. All right. So the main thing is you're not only trying to sell your book, but you're selling your expertise. What did you put in that book that is so amazing? That's what you need to pull out and start sharing that with other people, right? The other thing is we get on these platforms and we're like, hey, hey, this is what you need to do and this is why you need to do it. And no one knows who you are, right? So you have to continue to show yourself and show up for your business, show up for your book, show up for whatever you're selling in order for people to see that, okay, she's the expert. Because here's the thing. What if I came on this app and say, y'all, I'm the guru at social media? How does that even sound? Right? But when you start telling people that you're a guru or they see other people validating who you are, that's how it's supposed to be. When people say, hey, I want my name spoken in rooms that I'm not even in, this is how it happens. You have to show up with your story. So let me get back to storytelling, okay? So the first thing about storytelling, I'm talking about only why your story is not sticking today. We can get into, how you need to post on social media and content another day. And I probably have already made a video on it. Go back and look at the videos if you haven't already. If you haven't signed up or subscribed to this channel, make sure if you like books and selling books and you're thinking about writing a book and things of that nature, this is the channel for you, okay? So when we're talking about telling our story, I heard somebody today on LinkedIn, no doubt, they said, oh, well, storytelling takes no skill. Anybody can do storytelling. That's the lie. Everybody cannot tell a story. What happens with storytelling is two things. One, if you think about it, is small places that we're telling our story, right? The first thing that I want you to know is telling a story is one thing, but it's an art to telling your story. One, you have to be able to read the room, okay? So when you go into certain places with your story and you're having these whole word vomits and you're like, oh my God, why didn't that cause me to sell more books? I told my story. My coach told me to tell my story. So why didn't that work? It didn't work because you're not reading the room. If you can look, this is online and in person. Online, if no one's gravitating to your story, it's a reason why. If you're online and you're not getting likes, you're not getting comments, you're not getting shares, it's a reason that's happening where you're not getting, there's a reason, okay? And when you're not getting likes, comments, and shares, baby, that means stop. Go back and evaluate what else you could have said. Is it the content? Is it the context? A lot of times you guys have amazing content. The visuals are there. They're great. This is for online storytelling. The visuals are there and the visuals are great. But what's happening is you're not giving any context with it. You're just like posting it and you're saying, okay, read the flyer, see the information below. Y'all, if so, here's what I'm trying to say. Some of you, and a lot of us don't want to do this, but it works. Some of you, you need a mentor. A lot of us don't want to have mentors. Oh, I don't want to pay for a mentor. I don't want to pay for a coach. Okay. But you need one. If you don't know what you're doing, you need someone to guide you through where you're trying to go. Otherwise, you're going to continue to be bumping yourself in the head and you're not going anywhere, baby. I hate to be the one to tell you, but if you are not wanting to listen and grow, then you're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to be at a standstill, and you're still going to be asking this question to yourself next year. Why can't I sell more books? Why can't I book anybody? Why can't I get clientele? Why can't, and they'll invite you to speaking engagements because people love people that can come to their events and speak for free. So you'll always get those type of gigs, right? But where I'm trying to take you is where people pay for your expertise. Okay? That's what we're looking for, right? Right. So the one thing I want to share with you is if you don't want to pay for a coach, you don't want to pay for a mentor, that means that you need to be reading, honey. You need to be reading books that's going to elevate you to the next level. Okay? If you don't want to pay for a coach, you need to be paying for books. You need to be reading books. The other thing that is really easy to do is follow the traditional. If you are a self-published author, follow traditional authors and see how they're posting. See how their team is posting. That's the easiest way. Okay. And then however they're posting, like you guys expect people to gravitate to you that don't know you. It's traditional publishers out there that have had $1 million contracts on the line for their books, and no one still cares. No one cares. It's people out there that have good contracts and they still can't get people to gravitate to what they're saying. You want to know why? Because they're a writer and they're not really a social media guru. It is a difference. Okay. And if you are the person that you're making money in your books, but you can't get nobody to gravitate to what you're saying online, baby, hire somebody and let them manage your account for you. It's that simple. Okay. You have to spend money somewhere in order to make money. All right. So the second thing that I want to urge you guys to do, we talked about storytelling, the art of storytelling, being able to gauge, read the room, baby. Read the room. If nobody is gravitating to what you're posting online, stop, go back, see what else is going on. It's only so many posts that you can create to where you're posting on it yourself. You're liking it yourself, then you're posting on your own content. You're sharing your own content. It's only so long that you can do that, because the one thing that I can say is you're not going to be able to sell to yourself. This is the reason why I love seeing my clients' success story of them constantly selling books, because it lets me know that, oh my goodness, like they're really listening. They're really doing what I suggested for them to do, and it's really working. And let me just say this, it does work. It does work. If you're listening to this to a T, you're taking notes, it does work. Okay. So the other part is go back. If you're the type of person, and I see this all the time, you've made amazing content on Canva. Some of your content on Canva, let me just say this. Some of you guys are not giving anybody anything to work with. Let me tell you why. You don't post context to where people know what you're talking about. You just directing people to the flyer. They get to the flyer, and guess what? The flyer suck. And I'm saying the flyer suck because you can't read it. You got bold writing, and then you have real tiny writing. Who can read that? Who? Okay. So you have to make sure that everything is leveling up. everything is leveling up. Okay. So making sure that you not only have amazing context, what is it about? You have to think of it as if, people are just scrolling. What tends to happen, depending on which app you're on, whatever social media app you're on, most cases you see the picture first. So people, if they can't gravitate to the actual visual, they're out of there. They're gone. Most people, it's a lot of people, especially now on Facebook. Facebook has changed. Facebook now, they like long posts. That's very different, right? Because everybody has gravitated to the short microwave type posts. But now they're wanting to do long posts. Okay. So if you're getting where people love the long posts, and it's not whether or not you have to make a long post or a short post, you just need to create content that people can understand. Can I be the one to tell you it's too many tools out there for you to not have great content? There's Canva, and if you're the type of person that don't like to write, can't write, whatever the case may be, then there's AI. But for those of you that's using AI, you still need to go back and do a double check to make sure that AI is telling the type of story that you want to tell and that you want to share with your audience. What I'm seeing is you tell AI to do one thing and you just copy and you post it. And guess what? It doesn't gravitate to your audience. Two reasons why AI content don't really gravitate to the audience. Some of it, a lot of it. One, because you guys are posting trash. Trash is you told AI to do something. You really wasn't sure what you needed AI to do. It done what you told it to do, and then you just copy and you paste it. You didn't make sure that whatever it posted for you or whatever it created for you was in chronological order, or if it made sense in the order that it was in, if it had a call to action, because a lot of you are posting your books, and guess what? You don't even have a call to action, right? So these are things that you need in order to do great storytelling. I hate to go back to elementary school, but you need an intro. Then you need the body of the paragraph, and then you need the conclusion. It's not to say that you have to do this big old long drug out paragraphs, right? But you just have to make sure that it's actually working together, that makes sense for what you're posting. Okay. The other thing is, I'm urging you guys to go back and finish the story. Go back and finish your story. Let me make sure I'm lined up with my notes. Go back and continue to share your story. If you have a great flyer, no context, go back and put some context to that. If you have a whole bunch of context and no visuals, guys, go back and put visuals with it. What picture can you add with whatever you're saying? Okay. A lot of times we're always looking for new content, but baby, let me be the one to tell you. If I post something and it didn't get a like, a share, or a comment, it's getting reposted. I'm reposting it. Because why are you out here making new content like a machine gun and no one's paid attention to what you've already posted, baby? And as you're posting this content, introduce yourself. You need to be introducing yourself at least once a week. Why? Because if you're sharing something and you're looking for clients and you're looking for people to purchase from you, they want to know who they're purchasing from. That's number one. But if it's a service that I have to pay $1,000 for, $1,500 for, I want to know why you're capable of paying that type of money to. It's not to say that I don't have it, because a lot of you have put in your mind that, oh, nobody's going to pay me $2,000 for my service. No one's going to pay me, $25 for my book. Yes, they will. But they just want to know why they're paying a person $2,000 for their services. They want to know why they're paying $25 for a book. Is it because, your book is going to teach me something. And here's another thing, for those of you that's struggling with all these nasty thoughts, dirty thoughts. And what I mean by nasty thoughts, dirty thoughts, I'm meaning you wake up with so many negative thoughts about yourself, about your business, about where you're going, about, you're always like, I can't do this. I can't do this. You got negative things. Please do me a favor and read Kiss the Frog. Kiss the Frog. Baby, I promise you, it will help you to dump out all of those negative thoughts. Okay? The one thing I will say is a lot of times we feed ourselves the negativity. Nobody's harder on ourselves, on us than we are. We are harder on ourselves. So, main point, unfinished stories. You're not getting people to gravitate to what you're posting online because you're telling unfinished stories. So explain a great context. Without context, you're missing. It's almost like you're trying to tell a story, and you have a book, but the book is missing chapters. That's basically what you're doing. You're posting half stories. Go back and finish your story. People don't want to just see visuals or tips. They want to understand the journey. They want to know the why behind what you're sharing. Okay. A lot of times we just go onto these platforms, like I was just saying, we go onto these platforms and we're like, hey, don't do this. And we're like, baby, who are you? Okay. People want to know why you're capable of giving out tips. Keep that in mind. This is the reason why you're introducing yourself at least once a week, so they can go back on your post and say, oh, okay, she's a person that's been in education for over 14 years. Oh, she's been doing this for over 7 years. So of course she's capable of doing it. But no one will know that unless you continue to share who you are and why you belong in the space that you're in. Okay. And stop trying to talk to everybody. That's the biggest problem as well, because you're constantly trying to talk to everybody. What I see a lot, and this is the biggest mistake that I've seen ever, is a lot of you are sitting up in a room full of authors. You're author and you have a room full of authors. That's the only people you're following them. They're following you. You have no one else on your follow list, right? And then you want to know, well, why nobody's saying anything? Baby, they got the same struggle as you. You got to branch out. You're needing to, if you're an author, where do you want to see your books? Okay. Do you want to see it? Do you want to be that person that takes your book into corporate America where you're able to train people? Are you wanting your book at the library? Like, where do you want to see your book? If you want to see your book in bigger places, then you need to connect with the people that's capable of doing that. If you want to see your book as a movie, then you need to be following people that's already had their book as a movie. Those are the type of authors you need to follow, right? Right. Okay. But a lot of times we are comfortable around a lot of authors. Why? Because you're like, oh, they're having the same struggle as me. Some of you are comfortable seeing other people struggle like you're struggling. But when you get out there and you elevate your audience and you're like, wow, they're making a whole movie out of their book. And yes, you're able to do that too, right? But you'll never know that if you stay comfortable with making sure that you're surrounded by just authors. That's crazy, y'all. All right. So the other thing is highlight what makes you different. When you're posting and you're telling your story, share what makes you different from other people. What makes you different from other people? What makes you different? Because if you talk about this, and I just finished watching, have y'all ever watched something and you're like, Lord, why did I even watch this? Why did I even get in tune with this? So recently, I have been watching this, I think it's a series that's on Netflix called Nurse Jackie. Okay. I don't want to ruin it for the people that want to watch it and haven't watched it yet, but oh my goodness, like, really, Nurse Jackie? Okay. So anyway, the one thing I want to share is highlight if everybody has, excuse me, I won't say everybody. Let's say, for example, if you're telling a story about being an alcoholic, what makes your story different from another alcoholic? If you're talking about a person, if you're talking about your battle and your struggles with being on drugs, what makes your story different from, like another drug addict, right? That's one of the reasons that I gravitated to the book, A Piece of Cake by Cupcake Brown, because she tells us not only the story that you will hear from a drug addict's perspective, but she tells it in a way that only she could tell it. You know what I'm saying? So you will automatically separate or differentiate her story from someone else's. We have to learn to how to differentiate our stories from everyone else. But the reason why we have a problem with doing that is because we're okay with being a fish in a big pond and everybody else is around us. We're so big on following this person and following that person and not having our own identity. Baby, have your own identity. Okay? It's okay for you to separate from other people. All right. So let me wrap this up because I got 4 minutes. All right. So revisit your old post. Revisit, not only revisit it, but repost, revisit and refresh. Revisit and refresh your content. So let me go back over what we've talked about thus far. Storytelling, the art of storytelling. Y'all, if y'all ever want to just read through the art of storytelling, I wrote an amazing blazing article over there on LinkedIn. You're able to find me at Writing Coach LK. You really should dig into the art of storytelling. It will really explain why you're posting and you're continuing to post and you're continuing to post and no one's gravitating towards your story. One, your story is unfinished. Go back, finish your story, okay? If you have an amazing blazing content or context, meaning the paragraphs and everything that you use on social media, that means to check your visuals. What do your visuals look like? Okay. If the visuals suck and the context suck, you're not going to get any likes or any shares. And it's not because people see it and they don't want to like and they share it. It's because the algorithm is not even going to pick it up. The algorithm. We don't fight against just like the word of God says. We don't fight against flesh and blood. At this point, we're fighting against the algorithm as well. Okay. It's not about continuing to post until the algorithm realizes that you're there, because the algorithm is like, boop, not working, boop, not working, boop, not working. It's still not going to pick you up. You can do the whole machine gun and it's like, boop, 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 boop. Okay? It's still not going to pick it up. Okay? So you're not just fighting against what you're posting, you're fighting against the algorithm that's not picking it up. It'd be okay if it just let it go out there and maybe people would see it and maybe they would like it. But the algorithm is saying, you know what? You've been posting this stuff for too long. Because let me tell you, on apps like Facebook and Instagram, it's literally telling you, okay, this is the content that worked for you. This was something that worked really good this month. Keep doing this. Like it's telling you. It's telling you. Then it say, hey, let's go back to your highest engagement. Let's look at this. And then it'll tell you, you click on it and it'll tell you, hey, add a location to this, add hashtags to this, add this to this. Like it's literally giving you a second chance. It's literally giving you a second chance. Okay. And now something that they didn't do, and let me just be the one. I don't like Facebook. I don't like Instagram anymore, but that's just me, right? And I don't like it because it's like it's created more of this crab in a barrel mentality. Not against just, people of just one nationality or race. It's creating it for the whole anybody that's on Facebook. In addition to that, they're like, create this amazing content. And you literally see people that's creating amazing content and they cut it off in order for them to be able to advertise somebody else. And it's like, wow, the video wasn't even over. But the people that is promoting and the people that's creating this amazing blazing content, they have no idea what's showing up during their content or after their content. All they know is they're getting a check every month. And I guess for them, that's amazing. Good job. But half of us don't see all of your content. That's another story for another day. Go back. Update your content. Go back. Reshare your content. One of the things that I used to do on Facebook and Instagram is I used to be the first person to post on my content. On Instagram, if I wasn't making the algorithm, I wasn't getting likes, comments, shares, or anything like that, I would literally send my post to 10 people. Hey, can you read this and tell me your thoughts on it? Hey, can you tell me what you think on this? If you like it, do me a favor, leave a comment for me. Okay, those are things that I used to do on Instagram in order to beat the algorithm. Okay, those are things that you're able to do. On Facebook, you're also able to like and be the first person to comment. One of the things that you're able to do on Facebook, if your post has a title, put that title in the comments. What your caption was, put that in the comments. If you want people to see more of your posts, say CC, see the comments, right? So those are things that you can do to just build engagement. What I am seeing though, a lot of you are posting, and even when people are commenting, okay, you're not commenting back because why? You're on to the next platform. Baby, stick with a platform that you can grow in, grow your audience, and then transfer those people to your mailing list. That should be your overall goal anyway. It shouldn't be to get so comfortable with 10 million followers and yet you don't have an email list. Because what happens if these platforms leave? You have no emailing list. So to brag on having 1 million followers, 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers with no email list is crazy work. Because if all these platforms go down, which they do, you need to be able to still communicate with all those people that was following you. But you want to know why you haven't attempted to do an email list? Because you're comfortable being on these platforms. And you know that half the people on that list, half the people that's following you, they're not buying from you. They're not interested in your services. But you're okay with bragging about having all these followers. Don't worry about the followers. Worry about the quality of what you're putting out, because that is what's going to sell your services. That's what's going to sell your books. All right. For those of you that's new here, my name is Lynette Kincaid, the author and also a writing coach. If you're looking for me, honey, I am on YouTube. I'm also on LinkedIn, and I'm also on my website at writingcoachlk.com, writingcoachlk.com. Let me ask you this. If you need a strategy and you've been attempting to do this whole book thing for a long time and it's just not clicking for you, it's not working, baby, you're not going to be able to do it without a strategy. You need a strategy. You need a strategy, and you need someone that can help you with the strategy. Make sure that you set up a 15-minute consultation at writingcoachlk.com, writingcoachlk.com. If you feel like, look, I just have a question, I ain't really trying to do a whole consultation, then meet me over at LinkedIn on the Writing Coach LK and ask your question. Message me your question and I can answer it for you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.